Hello, my name is Druk, and today I want to take a look together with you guys at a game called Airport CEO, developed and published by Apoapsis Studios. Let's see what the developers have to say about their game. Airport CEO is a tycoon management game for PC and Mac where you take the seat as a CEO of your own airport. You will build the airport's infrastructure with everything from runways and taxiways, gates, and aprons to constructing terminals with check-in, security, restaurants, and shops. You will manage the business perspective of the airport by hiring employees and executives, making deals with airline companies, and making sure that ends meet by keeping an eye on budget and resources. You will have to cater to the passengers by keeping a waiting time to a minimum, by having friendly and helpful staff around, and by making passengers feel secure, keeping any potential incidents at bay. A happy passenger is a spending passenger. Hopefully, you won't run into any problems such as stressed out employees, equipment breakdowns, or bad weather, which can cause massive delays or even emergency landing. You will be held accountable when things go wrong and filthy rich when things go right. So this is what Apoapsis Studios has to say about their games. You can find this description on their Steam page. Guys probably don't know me. I used to play a game back in 1999 called Airport Inc., which was an extremely detailed, complex airport tycoon game, and I absolutely fell in love with the airport tycoon genre. This is also because I love traveling IRL and I love airports. Unfortunately, every game that came out after Airport Inc. was, in my opinion, subpar and lacking. Well, that's until Airport CEO came out, which, guys, after almost 70 hours spent in the game, I gotta say it's a pretty good management game. So let's get a detailed look. Let's see what's up with Airport CEO. Let's talk about graphics first. This is a 2D top-down game, so graphics are not a major issue. As also showcased by the requirements of the game, you can have any 2GB dedicated VRAM graphics card. Even the graphics options are few, but for such a game, I don't think more are needed, to be honest. You can set graphics quality level from fast, simple, good, fantastic, screen resolution, which can go up to 4K, windowed or full screen mode, VSync on or off, exterior object edge smoothing on or off, disable weather effects on or off, compressed images on or off, UI scaling and zoom overlay opacity, which you can set in %. Even if it is 2D, the assets look quite good. The detail on the terminal objects, airside and roadside object, it is quite impressive. How is the audio of this game? The music in the game is good and works well with the theme of the game. It reminds me a lot of Microsoft Flight Simulator to the point where at one time I was under the impression I had accidentally opened that game by mistake. The sound effects for the planes can be heard and are good when you zoom in close to the tarmac. The humming of a busy terminal really brings the atmosphere of a large airport to life. The game sounds are good at immersing you into the game. Controls. Airport CEO is a game that will mostly be controlled by mouse. However, you can use some keyboard shortcuts for important actions and menus in the game, like navigating on the map, viewing certain zones, rooms in the airport, your flight planner, terminal floors, and so on. Finally, let's talk about gameplay. When you start off the game, it allows you to customize your character. For a game of this type, it gives you quite a few preset customization options. You can also name your character. After that, you get to choose your location, name of your airport, give it a YADA code, and choose a logo. Finally, you can choose the game mode. If you don't check either sandbox or a large map, the game takes you into the default game mode, which starts with a tutorial and a small plot of land. In sandbox mode, you can turn on or off features in the game to your leisure. You can play with unlimited funds, disable economy simulation, disable construction simulation, unlock all objects, projects, or areas, get unlimited flights, disable emergencies and animals. I tried the mode with all these features on and it was quite quite boring for me. There is absolutely no challenge, and it reminds me of Minecraft creative mode where you are free to build anything and everything. If this is your cup of tea though, it's an okay mode for what it does. Enabling large map unlocks not 4, which is the default, but 6 unlockable plots of land, giving you the possibility to start a really large airport. The game has multiple difficulties: easy, moderate, difficult, and extreme. From experience, the only real difference between easy, moderate, and difficult is the amount of money you start with. You don't get that many incidents or emergencies even on difficult. Extreme, however, is another story. On this difficulty, you start experiencing all kinds of emergencies very early on. You can get anything from emergency landings, bird strikes, animals wandering around your airfield, to your employees being on strike because they are not happy with their pay and their conditions, like, for example, me completely ignoring building bathrooms in the airport. When you launch the game, in the default mode, it starts you off with a small plot of land and everything you need for a small basic airport. This is where the progression system comes in. The more you advance in the game, the more you can unlock stuff through R&D projects, the game's tech tree. There is an order to unlocking some of the R&D projects. The R&D projects are in the management menu of the game, where you can also see an overall view of your airport, your emails, services offered, construction workers helping you with building stuff around the airport, money earned and spent, the fees you charge. To set your own fees, which is something you'll probably want later on in the game, you need to hire your own CFO. In the management menu, you can also find and request bank loans, get new suppliers and airline contracts, manage your staff, preferably with the help of an HR director, manage their shifts. You can purchase and manage airport support vehicles, and see your airport statistics. You also get a tutorial, which at the beginning I suggest you follow to the letter because it's a good way of teaching you the basics of building an airport. You can get it either as a detailed one-by-one step or as a summary, a checklist. What I found out by playing the game is that while the tutorial is good at giving you the basics, following only those steps will not really earn you profits. In fact, late in the game, I would end up bleeding serious money. Some R&D projects, like, for example, nighttime flights, that the tutorial doesn't even mention, should be unlocked rather early if you want to make more money. You will, however, learn all these as you progress through the game. The more you advance in the game, the more complex it will get, and a lot of issues like emergencies will start to appear, especially if you play on extreme difficulty. You will have to deal with every single one of them in a timely manner. Not dealing with them will affect your airport and its reputation. The worse your reputation gets, the less likely it will be for your customers, airlines, and other types of businesses to want to collaborate with you. Does the game have any issues? Well, for the most part, no. I've had the game crash on me once or twice during the late game when you had a lot of assets on the map, but the game also has its fair share of small bugs, like conveyor belts not attaching or to each other properly in situations when you put two conveyor belts one next to the other, passengers or employees getting stuck in open areas, even though there is a clear, huge path for them to get out of that area. Room layouts don't show up when you want to see zones in your terminal. Sometimes error messages are not very clear and it's hard to figure out what's wrong in certain situations. Anyway, guys, even with these issues, the game is really good in my opinion. I've enjoyed playing it a lot and will most probably keep playing it on my own when I want to chill. My final mark for this game is a large concrete runway out of 10. What do you guys think of this game? Have you guys played it? What is your opinion of it? If not, are you thinking of playing it? Maybe? Tell me in the comments. Bye-bye.